Bowling jokes, PBA jokes. Q. What is the seventh pin in bowling called? A. Mother-in-law. Q. What's the difference between a sorority girl and a bowling ball? A. You can only fit 3 fingers in a bowling ball. Q. What do a bowling ball and a blonde have in common? A. Chances are both will end up in the gutter. Q. What is the difference between Barry Zito and bowling icon Walter Ray Williams, Jr.? A. Walter Ray Williams, Jr. knows how to throw a strike. Q. Why should a bowling alley be quiet? A. So you can hear a pin drop. Q. Why are football players not allowed in bowling alleys? A. After getting a strike, they spike the ball. Q. What's the difference between ginger pussy and a bowling ball? A. You could eat a bowling ball if you had to. Q. Why do the blondes prefer to have sex instead of bowling? A. The balls are lighter, and you don't have to change shoes. Q. How do you tell which is the groom at a Polish wedding? A. He's the one with the clean bowling shirt. Q. What's the greatest problem facing Poland? A. The 4-10 split. My favorite sport is bowling cause I always strike out with girls. 3-day weekend. Johnny's teacher tells her class, I'm going to ask you a question at 2:55 p.m. every Friday and whoever answers it correctly will be excused from school on Monday and can enjoy a 3-day weekend. The students got really excited about this and were anxiously awaiting for Friday afternoon to arrive. On Friday, at precisely 2:55 p.m., the teacher addressed the class. Students, this week's question is who can tell me Pythagorean theorem? After a long pause she said, well, I guess I'll see you all tomorrow. The teacher was teasing the children. She always planned to ask question that no 5th grader could ever answer. Now Johnny was getting wise to the teacher's scam. The following Friday, Johnny brought to school both his parents' bowling balls. At 2:54, he rolled them down the aisle and they crashed into the teacher's desk. The teacher jumped up, came around the front of the desk and yelled, "All right, who's the comedian with the big balls?" "Johnny," says Eddie Murphy. "See you Tuesday." Bowling balls. A little old man boards a bus with a bowling balls in each of his front pockets. He sits down next to a beautiful young blonde lady, and she can't help but glance quizzically at the man and his bulging pockets. It's an uneasy few minutes before, finally, the little old man can take no more. "Bowling balls," he nods reassuringly. The blonde seems a little shocked, and stares on. Moments later, she says, "Does it hurt as much as tennis elbow?" Half an hour late. A couple of weeks ago, I practiced bowling with a new member. We had fun during the practice, so I asked him if he wanted to practice next week. He said, "Sure, but I might be a half hour late." The following week he shows up right on time, and we practiced. This time he plays left-handed. I asked him if he wanted to practice again next week. He replied, "Sure, but I might be a half hour late." I then asked him, "How come sometimes you play right-handed and other times, left-handed?" He said, "When I wake up in the morning and my wife is sleeping on her left side, I play left-handed, and if she is on her right side, then I play right-handed." I then ask, "So, what if she is laying flat on her back? That's when I'll be a half hour late." He replied. Bowling one-liners. I go bowling once every 4 years to make sure I still hate it. Bowling is a sport that should be right down your alley. If you can't hear a pin drop, then something is definitely wrong with your bowling. If our small town didn't have bowling, there'd be no culture at all.